You've got a teacher with 20 years of experience. They've seen every initiative come and go. They push back in meetings. They question new ideas. And you've started calling them resistant. But what if I told you the problem isn't that teacher? The problem is that your team hasn't figured out how to use them yet. I'm going to show you a 4-step protocol that turns veteran resistance into your team's biggest competitive advantage. And it starts with a single question from a 2008 research study that changed the way I think about every experienced teacher I've ever worked with. John here from the Teaming Edge, where we help leaders get better results from their collaborative learning teams. Let's get into it. Here's what most team leaders do when a veteran pushes back. They try to convince them, they pull rank, or they work around them and hope they retire soon. In 2008, researchers Ford and D'Amelio published a study in the Academy of Management Review that reframed this entire conversation. The question is no longer, why do teachers resist change, but why do team leaders call some actions resistance and not others? They're saying resistance isn't something your veteran teacher is, it's a label you're putting on their behavior. And here's why that matters for your team. Andy Hargreaves studied late career teachers and found 4 types. Only one of the 4 is actually negative and disengaged. The other 3, they're either still growing, focused on their students, or, and this is the big one, they're disenchanted. Disenchanted doesn't mean checked out. It means they've invested deeply in a previous reform that got abandoned. Their skepticism isn't irrational, it's evidence-based. You've been in that meeting. Someone says, here's our new initiative, and a veteran in the back crosses their arms. But what if those crossed arms aren't saying, I don't want to change? What if they're saying, I've changed before, it didn't stick, convince me this time is different? That's not resistance, that's professional judgment. Hargreaves and Fullan call it decision capital, the ability to make expert decisions built through years of practice. And it's the most valuable form of professional capital your team has. So the real question isn't, how do I deal with my resistant veteran? It's what happens to my team when I fail to activate our most experienced members' expertise. And here's a protocol you can use in your next team meeting. It takes about 30 minutes, and it works with any team that has a mix of experience levels. I call it the Decision Capital Protocol. Step 1, map the expertise. Create a simple grid. Across the top, list your team's key competency areas, things like differentiation, assessment design, classroom management, data analysis, parent communication. Have each team member rate themselves on a 1 to 3 scale. 1, still learning. 3 means, I'm the go-to person for this. 2 things happen immediately. First, your veteran's expertise becomes visible and specific. Not vague, not assumed, it's documented. Second, and this is the part people miss, your veteran also identifies areas where they want to grow. That normalizes learning at every career stage. Step 2, harvest the wisdom. Ask one question. Think about a moment this past week when you felt most effective as a teacher. What were you doing and what happened with the students? Each person shares in 90 seconds. Everyone else listens for the transferable strategies that are underneath their comment. This is where your veteran becomes the expert contributor. You're starting from strength, not deficit. And here's what changes in the room. The veteran who was sitting back is now leaning in because you just asked them to share what they're best at instead of asking them to change what they're doing. In step 3, assign expert roles. Name your team's current challenge. Maybe it's an upcoming assessment. Maybe it's a group of students who aren't responding to instruction. Now use that strengths map from step 1 and the wisdom from step 2 to assign a lead expert for the specific challenge. This isn't based on seniority, It's based on demonstrated expertise. The lead expert designs the approach. Everyone else contributes from their own strengths. This gives your veteran a meaningful role that honors what they bring to the table. And step 4, commit and iterate. Each person names one action they'll take this week. The team agrees on when to come back and look at results. And this is key. Thomas Guskey, he's a researcher on teacher change, found that the biggest shift in teachers' beliefs happen after they try something and see results with students. Not before, after. So don't try to convince your veteran that the new approach will work. Create a low-risk opportunity to try and see. Results change beliefs. It's not the other way around. Now here's the part most protocols leave out. After you run this once, don't just repeat it. Redesign it. Your team isn't my team. Your challenges are specific. Your veterans bring expertise that no template can predict. So after that first round, ask your team, what competency areas are we missing from our strengths map? What's a better harvest question for what we're working on right now? Let your team rebuild the protocol around their own context. Because the goal isn't to follow my 4 steps forever. The goal is for your team to create its own system for activating expertise. The one that fits your people, your students, and your specific challenges. That's when this stops being a protocol that you borrowed and becomes a practice that you own. So here's your challenge for this week. Don't try to fix your veteran. Don't try to convince them. Instead, map their expertise. Ask what they're best at. Then give them a role that puts that expertise to work for the whole team. And after you do, change one thing about the protocol to make it fit your team better. That's the real test of leadership. Not following a framework, but building one. Because the same qualities that make veteran teachers appear resistant, deep expertise, pattern recognition, institutional memory, healthy skepticism, are the exact qualities that make teams smarter. And if you want the companion resource for the Decision Capital Protocol, including the strengths mapping template, the harvest question prompts, and the role assignment guide, link is in the description. And if this shifted how you think about an experienced teacher on your team, hit subscribe. We put out new team leadership protocols every single week. Hey, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.